Da-da-da-da-da. Good morning, happy Thursday, and happy July 1st. And wherever you are, I hope everything is great. It's going to actually be sunny and pretty this weekend for us, which is a big change. It's been like a mop around here. It's been hot and soup. So I was listening to Grant Cardone the other night, I think 2 nights ago, as I was at the gym, and he's getting ready to do another one of his. Um, they're not really seminars. They're more kind of like gatherings that he does, where he brings in all of these people, and they just kind of all talk about different topics. He kind of interviews them all, and he was talking about the people that he was spending time with, and I've watched this happen with him and with Tony Robbins, where they start telling you about their life, and they're surprised. I mean, they're telling you because it amazes them where they are. I mean, you can hear it in their voice where they're going, I'm hanging around 50 Cent and I'm hanging around Mr. Wonderful, and then I get a phone call from so-and-so's office saying, hey, we'd like to sit down with you and talk to you, and then I get a phone call from Carnival Cruise Line who says, hey, we have a plane that we want to sell and we don't want anybody to know that we're selling it. Are you interested in buying it? And you can tell that there's this moment where they look around and go, I can't believe that this is really what's going on. And what they're trying to convey to you is you can do this too. They'll both tell you, look, I'm a guy that had nothing. They both started out with very difficult lives. Tony's life was incredibly difficult. Grant's life, not as difficult as Tony's, but he came from a small town in the middle of nowhere, and now, here he is, this celebrity and on his way to being a billionaire, and on and on. And they tell you all of these things just saying you can do this too. And here's how I did this. All I did was make a decision. I made a decision that I was going to end up in this situation. I made a decision that I was going to end up at this level. And, for Tony, it was I was going to impact so many people. And it started out with 100 people, and then 1,000, and then millions, and then I want to impact the world. And for Grant, it was, I'm going to have 1,000 units. And then as he started along those lines, then it was, I'm going to help people, and there's this shift that happens where when they decide that their mission becomes to help a large number of people, you can see that that's when this shift happens, and all of a sudden they start to think globally. And when they start to think like that, then, they become that big. Whatever your goal is, then your thinking has got to expand in order to manage that goal. So if your goal is just, I'm going to get through the day, then you don't have to really expand very much in terms of what you need to do in order to survive. But if your goal becomes, I want to change the world, Steve Jobs, I want to put a dent in the universe, now suddenly your brain's got to think differently in order to even have a chance of conceptualizing that. And suddenly your vision becomes considerably larger. And when that shift happens, you can see that all of a sudden, that's when these guys blow up. Grant talks about that he actually came in one day and said, we're going to turn me into a celebrity. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to do that. That's what's going to happen is Grant Cardone is going to become a celebrity. We need to help millions of people. We need to show people how to do this. We need to show people this information. We need to show people this message. And I need to become a worldwide celebrity. And when he made his focus that, well, now in a way he is a worldwide celebrity. So they tell you this to show you the path. Now, that doesn't mean that your path has got to be, I want to be a billionaire and a worldwide celebrity. But it does show us this. When your focus becomes something bigger, and when your focus becomes about giving, it becomes about helping others, suddenly that wider range of vision changes how you take action, and changes how you look at the world, and changes how the actions that you're going to take in order to accomplish that. What does all that mean for you? The old adage of shoot for the moon, it's a good idea because even if you miss, you're going to end up in the stars, is right. Set your vision for something significantly higher. Number one, it's going to motivate you. It's going to excite you. But number two, it's going to broaden that vision in your brain in terms of the ideas that you think up. If suddenly your vision is, I need to create this financial outcome in the next year, your brain's going to go, okay, well, if we got to do something like that, we got to start thinking differently. If suddenly your vision is, it's not just that I'm going to try to lose 20 pounds, it's I'm going to do a triathlon. Now your brain goes, all right, well, if we're going to do that, then we're going to have to take a whole different approach. And you may or may not finish the triathlon or finish where you set your goal, but you're going to go and become in tremendously better shape than if your goal is just to lose 20 pounds. If your goal is, well, I'm going to have, I'm going to finally have a relationship that doesn't suck. Okay. Well, number one, not very motivating, but number two, not a super great goal. If you say I'm going to have a relationship that's an example of what's possible for the ages, now suddenly you're going to start looking at things differently. I'm going to have a relationship with my children that can be an example for everyone as to how to have a relationship with your child. Now suddenly your spectrum, your view is going to become completely different. So as you head into the weekend, for those of you that are in the United States, this is 4th of July weekend. For those of you not in the United States, 4th of July weekend is an American thing, and we love this weekend. We grill flesh, we drink beer, and we blow shit up. That's what we do on 4th of July weekend, and Americans love it. We think it's great. So if you're heading into this weekend, this is a great time. You're halfway through the year. Really kind of evaluate where you're at and what are you doing. And change that view, change that viewpoint, make it a bigger picture. It's going to excite you a lot more, but it's also going to make it so that your brain's going to go, all right, if we're going to accomplish that, we got to go do something completely different. And you're going to create much greater outcomes than just a goal of, I want to lose a little bit of weight, I want to get through the day, and I want to have a relationship that doesn't suck, and I hope my kids don't end up on drugs. If that's the goal, that's a minimal amount of effort. But if the goal becomes something much more exciting and much larger, now the effort's going to be completely different. The vision's going to be different, and your outcomes are going to be completely different. Have an awesome day. Happy July 1st. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other. Morning, everybody. I'm going to say good morning. I haven't said good morning forever. Morning, my great Uncle Bill, who never, ever misses one of these. Dolly, great to see you. Randy Musser, good morning. How are you, sir? First time I had lunch with my daughter, Mr. Musser saw me sitting at the table with a bunch of kindergartners, and he looked at me and he said, well, you got bigger, I'll say that, because he was one of my teachers when I was in grade school. Tracy, great to see you, dear. So have an awesome day, everybody. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.